Hey guys, that's right. Dee here is back with a brand new episode of Table Cheese with Anton Sixxx and myself. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow. And guess what? Enjoy the show.
And we're rolling.
I'm gonna merge a lot of. We're going. All right. I was doing calisthenics. Hey guys, this is Dee, FTO Podcast. We are finally back with Table Cheese. This is episode what? Who knows? 36? 50? It could be. Well, this is the multiverse episode. So yeah, I'm Dee. This is your host. One of them anyway. The other half is this guy right here. Not next to me, but only in spirit. Anton Sixxx of Cheesy Controller Podcast. What's up, my guy?
We're together on the monitors, and that's all that matters.
It's all that matters. That's all that matters. If you guys hadn't noticed, for those of you who can see this podcast, we are inside Anton's new computer room. And like, I'm looking at this. The studio. How rude of me. The studio. How rude of me, Anton. My apologies. Anton's studio, where he has like his entire setup of games and movies and merch and memorabilia inside of it. It looks nice, man. I like it.
The shot looks semi-acceptable, but it's pure chaos. Anywhere that this camera is not touching is in complete disarray.
Just stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Right on. Don't worry, guys. I'll get you a behind-the-scenes photograph with a little flag back there. I'll blast Anton on Twitter /X, or whatever the fuck we're calling it nowadays. Who knows?
I mean, it'll be a odd flex, to say the least. It'll be like, there's just this box full of collector's editions of obscure Japanese games. What is even happening here? It's like, yeah.
I'll pull American Police. And I'll plant some stuff inside there. Don't worry about it. I'll do that for you.
You're gonna see some of the chaos, but I gotta pull out.
He said the magic word of the day. He said pull out. Right on.
That's
what is
the
this?
word of the
Final
day.
Fantasy 16? This is bringing Pee Wee Herman back, man. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6, a Japanese Famicom copy.
Oh,
and
nice.
And we got Pokemon Emerald, both complete in box. Pokemon Emerald.
You've been adventuring since we've been on hiatus.
Well, hold on. Discord might be trying to eat you.
Oh, they're trying to eat me up? Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Okay. Sounds like we're back good.
Is that, I said like you look, it looks like you've been on a venture since we've been AWOL, since we've been on hiatus. You've been like collecting some more gaming stuff or what?
Well, the copy of Emerald, yeah, I have gotten a bunch of stuff, but the copy of Emerald I've had for a few years. It just kind of was in a box with a bunch of other cartridges, and the Final Fantasy 6 I got right before I moved, and so...
Okay, I bet that was a feeling in itself.
Because it came wrapped in bubble wrap, and I just kept it wrapped in bubble wrap in a box, and then... So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to open this till I move. And so, yeah, I just got my 2 of the greatest games ever created, complete in box Japanese copies.
We know where Anton is right now. We got to take a trip to Japan someday, dude. That'd be fun.
I need to go to Japan like yesterday.
I mean, I'm here for it. Absolutely. I got to get my passport first, but after that, I'm in. Absolutely.
Keep that passport on deck. I mean, I guess having parents from another country will make you...
Yeah, it would. Being a, like, you know, I don't know, fucking 16th generation American, whatever, like, descendant of slaves are in this country. Like, that's what I am. So, I have no passport. We don't really travel outside the country very often. So, I need to make that happen. Get myself a passport, go to Belize, never leave. You know, the usual. The usual.
Oh, yeah, I'll go to Japan, buy, like, a house this size for, like, $10,000 and just, like...
You get it. There it is. That's the American dream right there.
Right, live out my days in hioris and kimonos. Just
oh god, that sounds blissful.
Right?
Why, like put like have like the house husband on repeat in the background. Oh my god, that sounds great. Whatever like a new season pops up, just add it to the list. My goodness.
Oh, I get the physical manga. I might be one or two behind. But yeah. It was like when it came out, like I did a post of just a picture of all the volumes that I had, and it was just like manga knowledge intensifies because
it's a whole different beast, manga as opposed to anime. So I hear you. I think it was Makiro, and like she's also one of the contestants on the FTO Awards. She's running for Nerd of the Year. I know this woman for at least like maybe 3 years now doing the FTO, and she hooked me onto The Way of the House Husband. Like she said, one of her favorite mangas. But like as soon as she said that, maybe 2 weeks prior, the show had dropped. So I just watched the show. I just watched the anime, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
I realized there was like a second season.
Mm-hmm.
So
just as good. There's no real timeline to any of these stories. They're kind of like misadventures of this house husband who I keep promoting as like the prequel to John Wick. That's the one I keep calling this show. Like you can say what you want to say.
He's John Wick after he retires and picks up a life of being a house husband.
That's exactly what this is. It's like to the T. Agree, 100%. So, and I love it.
Well, it's way more Yakuza than I think John Wick is. So, you're definitely going to get a lot of that Yakuza.
But it's campy though. It's like it's a fun light kind of Yakuza. Yeah.
Slice of life. It's amazing. Highly recommend.
It is slice of life, actually. Yeah. It's the most slice of life you could possibly get from the Yakuza. I agree with you. Yeah. God, this show we just talked about The Way of the House Husband for at least 10 minutes. You guys are welcome. You guys are absolutely welcome.
We've only been going for 6. We distorted time and space.
Anton gets it. Thank you. Anton.
We were in a pocket dimension right there. A prison realm.
You got me going tonight, man. You got me going. You're on your cylinder today, dude. I dig it. You said we've been going for 6. Well, it's whatever. You live in your world, D. I will. And I most definitely will. We got a stacked show today because it's going to be another award breakdown. So if you loved the first podcast I just posted with me doing an award breakdown, you're going to love this one. What category are we talking about, Anton?
Well, so I'm just going off the Game Awards 2023. I'm going to just get some of these that I felt like I actually had, because I voted in all the categories just to kind of,
You do every year, right?
Sometimes it really depends. Like this year, I feel like esports athlete, I probably didn't vote last year, and like best esports team and esports coach, like a bunch of those were just kind of like throwaway votes. Like
I'm gonna tell Jalen you said that they are not gonna be happy at all about what you're saying. You gotta support developers, Anton. I'm giving you crap. Like no, he's throwing his hand in the air. No, I get it completely. Like I don't put a lot of stock in esports either. Like the game, they just feel exactly the same. There's not much real change going on with it. Where some fans say, "Hey, Spider-Man 2 is gonna feel like Spider-Man 1," and it really didn't. Esports games like esports 2016, esports 2017, kind of feel like the exact same game. So like, no, I hear you. That's why I don't put a lot of time into esports.
Well, I mean, that's the reason every year the one esports category that I make sure and I vote in is the best esports event. I always vote for EVO 2023 because EVO is that esport thing that I interact with the most. Like just that weekend in August every year, like it's summertime, like season's starting to change toward fall, and it's just fighting games, and it is just it is the top players in all of the, just like a huge spread of fighting games just going at it, and EVO's a magical time.
Episode about Evo games. I know like I touched on some of it, but I think it was more textbook as opposed to culture based as the way you're talking right now. Oh, yeah. And like I don't think I got a full cultural
effect. At least in the groups that I play games with.
Okay.
Like in our Discord, one of the yearly events that's really big is EVO. Everybody's watching. Everybody has the game that they're most excited to see the grand finals of. Everybody
a lot of traditions too, I bet, right?
Oh yeah, like you can look on my trophy list over the years, and if in early August you see me getting a handful of fighting game trophies in a bunch of just random fighting games, it's because EVO's on and I'm playing online.
I get that. You do have a long list. We talked about that in a previous episode too. All right. Yeah. What lists are we popping up there? Do I
You gonna give us a recap of what we need to
about to present to us?
I don't know if that's your mic or if that's Discord. You might have gotten eaten again.
I think when I get closer or put my hand on my keyboard.
Oh yeah.
like? It doesn't like.
It's definitely the touching of the keyboard.
Like, D, stop doing that. You gotta get on your keyboard right now. Give me one.
Switch my port from my headphones, or not headphones, but my mic. Give me 1 second, and also got my nominees pulled up.
All right.
All right, I'm back. I think my audio is working a little bit different now.
Oh no, we're still getting.
See, my hands are, and that's funny because my hands are still on the keyboard. That's what's doing it for me. All right, so this doesn't like me, so I'm gonna move that over there. How's that? Is that any better?
I mean, it's working. We'll see.
All right, I got the categories, and I'll read out the categories. And I don't have to touch the keyboard while I do that. It's a game of the year, best game direction, best narrative, best art direction, best score music, best audio design, best performance. So to switch up a little bit, innovation and accessibility, games for impact, best ongoing, best community sport, best independent game, best debut indie game. That's gonna be a fun one. Best mobile game, best VR/AR. Hello, that sounds like my wheelhouse. Best action game, best action adventure, best RPG, best fighting. That's you right there. That's your sweet spot. Best family.
I got a thought
about that one. All right, best sim and strategy, best sports and racing, best multiplayer, best adaptation, most anticipated game, content creator of the year. That is going to be a fun category to go wallowing inside of. Best esport game, best esport athlete, best esport team, best esport coach, and best esport event. If you are thinking what I'm thinking right now, they just threw esports at the very end of this. Hopefully it's a yearly tradition. I can't be sure, but it seems like this esport we just got to kind of brushed in at the end there. So just mixed in with a whole bunch.
Yeah, it kind of is towards the end, and some of these will be just kind of like after an ad break. They'll be like, yeah, and this player won best esports player.
Okay. No, I get that.
But I mean, they get a game award, so...
That's all that matters. Like publicity be damned. Like long as you got that award and it matters to you and it matters to those who watch the game awards. That's all that matters in the end. So no, I get you. I hear you. Awards only matters to those who put value to those awards.
Well, I would love a game award, Jeff Keighley, if you're watching. Any day, anytime, I will take my game award for Gamer of the Century.
Yeah, honorable mention. That's what you're looking for?
No, number one. Gold medal.
I think I'll
and a fight stick.
I'll work for that content creator of the year. I'll work for that position. I'll get myself there. It'll take a lot of money, but I'll get
table
there.
cheese. We need table cheese on
content creator of the year, right? There you go. Oh goodness! But like, which one you want to start with? Is it a fighting game? You said you had something to say about that. So is fighting games like your sweet spot you want to get into?
Well, yeah, I gotta see if I can open these in other tabs just so I can get like all the categories. All right. So best fighting, yeah, we can definitely start here. I voted Street Fighter 6, so the nominees are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. And so I voted Street Fighter, even though Street Fighter to me wasn't what I was looking for out of a fighting game around the time that it came out. I know that there are people to this day who like hardcore fighting game players, the people that I know IRL, the people I know online, like the people who legitimately play fighting games are all over Street Fighter 6.
I mean, it makes sense. I didn't get to play Mortal Kombat 1. I did see it a few times at AWA. I did not see it so much at Dragon Con. I saw it at AWA. And it's beautiful. The graphics
yeah.
are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
The playthrough is nice. It had like you can see the story they were trying to create like outside of the original mythos that we know of Mortal Kombat. So like it had like a lot of checks in mind. With Street Fighter, I saw that played at AWA also. That was fucking fun.
Yeah,
Street
Fighter
fun.
gets very hype because Street Fighter
Right.
is very mechanical. Like Mortal Kombat 1 is built on strong mechanics. And
pageantry though. It has like a whole like story, an ethos attached to Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter is a whole different animal.
Well, I think that because there is community input on this, Mortal Kombat's probably going to win. I had to vote for Street Fighter because Street Fighter is really the correct answer here, but Mortal Kombat has a bigger following. I guarantee Mortal Kombat 1 has sold more copies than Street Fighter 6. And it's been a lot less time since the last Mortal Kombat than it has been since the last Street Fighter. It's just Mortal Kombat is one of those names like Madden, like 2K. Like Mortal Kombat is known in that pantheon of like, if you want a fighting game, you're going to get Mortal Kombat because you're, for the most part, knowing you're going to get a good game that'll be fun all the way from the casual to the competitive level.
No, I feel that. Like I hear you on that. Like and like that's kind of the reason why I think, like, I think we're both in the same category. Like we think like it should probably go to Street Fighter. They should be the one to go for the win, the W on that one. As much as I love the MK1 aesthetics and the gameplay, and again, this is a guy who has not touched one controller to either of these games. I need to make that perfectly clear to everybody. But like from what I've seen and the mechanics that I've seen, like on both of these games, the high value belongs to Street Fighter, like for the win. Like I can get why MK1 would get it because the mechanics attached to it, but like Street Fighter alone, the nostalgia effect, the hypeness but behind it, and the fact that like it is like Street Fighter, it has a longevity attached to it, and it's still going strong. Well, I think like for those reasons alone,
Mortal Kombat is a legacy franchise in the same way, and
it is released
more consistently and with more content. Like,
agreed.
Both of these games have egregious microtransactions this year. Both of them are trying to charge you $20 for a fatality.
So you couldn't really put that into like the idea of like why one should win over the other. You couldn't put that into the whole mix of this entire conversation.
Well, I mean, because they're both pretty, like, both of them have examples of things that it's just like, this is overpriced, and people who are playing the game, for the most part, are trying to not engage with that side of it because they feel like they're getting a worse product. Like, they get a complete product out the box, but everything that's added on top of that, both of these games, they're just horrible about it.
People like who just love the game just for loving the game and ignore the transactions and don't even take part in things like that. Like that would be more like the wheelhouse of a person like myself. I would never pay microtransactions. It would never even like be a thought in my head. The only time like I've ever really done that, it was Marvel Snap, and that's because like you suggested that I should. Like otherwise, I don't normally do stuff like that. Nor do I partake in microtransactions or like taking my coins away bit by bit. But like if you look at like the merit alone of both of these games, I definitely agree with you. That Street Fighter is definitely like the way to go about this win. But I also think, just like yourself, that Mortal Kombat's going to win it. That's my whole grand take behind like the best fighter right now.
All right, so you said you wanted to get into content creator of the year, so
let's go back. All right,
yeah,
I had indie game up, ready to go next. But like content creator, let's see who's in this mix. Absolutely.
And it just shows how out of the loop I am with modern gamer culture, because I know of Iron Mouse and I know people make games, but I have no idea who Quackity is. I have no idea who Spreen is, and Cypher PX maybe. Yeah, I have no clue or context to any of those three people are, and the only reason I know about Iron Mouse is because I listen to some Japanese podcasts that are really into VTubers. Shout out Trash Taste.
You are not alone. I'm in the same category as you. I feel like I should probably know who these folks are since the that the Game Awards are telling me who these folks are, and like they are a part of their entire collective of individuals. But yeah, much like yourself, I have no idea who any of these people are. Not like you may know one. I know none of them.
I know two. People Make Games and Iron Mouse.
I know none of them. Not a one. Good on them. They make it to like this point in their career, and I hope it keeps going for them. But like I have no idea who these folks are. But like I will say, my interest is sparked. Like I may gotta look into who these folks are just so I know, because they're gonna be in casual conversations now because they are a part of like the Game Awards.
We'll see.
I mean, like, what do you want them to be or not? Like this category is not going away, and they get nominated like twice at the Game Awards.
Well,
regardless, like
I
you know,
don't
that's
think
something.
there have been any like as far as content, because this used to be the Trending Gamer Award. This is the award that Greg Miller gave, where he gave the speech thanking like an individual developer who worked on a game. I think he had just played Tomb Raider. The video's out there of Greg Miller's Game Awards speech, but I don't think anybody has been nominated twice. I think it's kind of like if you had a big impact that year. And to be fair, Content Creator of the Year is not a new category. And I couldn't tell you a single person that was nominated. The only person I can tell you has ever been nominated for this that I am aware of. Actually, there might have been one other person.
As a person who sees himself as a content creator and like creates content, maybe not like as much as I used to, seeing this category, and surprisingly enough, a category that's right next to esports. Like it's right after most anticipated game, and it really is in between most anticipated game and best esport game. Content creator seems like a very new thing they put to this entire list, and seeing this here,
being a content creator
myself, it gets me into like a point thinking to myself that like, I should definitely take interest in this, because I do respect the Game Awards. I respect what they do and how they present themselves in the different categories and like the folks that they put apart in the categories, and honestly the show itself. So like having this here, I feel like I'm gonna start taking part in understanding like these esport players and the content creators. I may have to go through this entire list of gamers here, like or game categories.
Oh yeah.
And start paying more attention to all these different individuals who are part of this. So like, you know, much like how the best esport may get like a brief intermission during a commercial break, I feel like content creator may be the same thing, but that is subject to change in the future. We could see a whole different view of the Game Awards with just a category like this. So like I'm happy to see something like this, and this innovation and accessibility category has my attention also for this very same reason. But
well, we could hop over to innovation and accessibility if you want that to be the next category.
Absolutely, I'm here for it.
And so the nominees. Go ahead, D.
I was just gonna say like the caption, because it was I was wondering what innovation and accessibility really stood out for what this category meant, and it has a caption here that says recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward and adding features, technologies, and content to help gamers be played and enjoyed even in wider audiences. And like honestly, for a person who lives in a family who has hearing impaired individuals, like it's nice to see that these are the games. Well, like you got to listen in front. What were the top games that are nominated this year?
So we got Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6.
Like those are all the games we talked about for most of the year, and all those games are really being like accessible to those who have like different impairments. Like that in itself in the gaming world, like as a person who is not fully abled at times, like it's nice to have that kind of like option.
Well, yeah, this is the fact that this is becoming more and more standard, and we're seeing it in bigger and bigger games, because this is a category that's been around. Like, I don't think they added any new categories probably in the last 3 years.
Okay.
So for this category to be around, and there for a while it was like certain specific things, but just the fact that all of these games are some of the biggest games to come out this year, and all of them have an accessibility suite worthy enough. This is kind of future-proofing it, because, you know, At some point, I'll be 80, and guess what? I'm gonna want to play Spider-Man 2, and I won't.
Or you can be 20 and like you can't hear anything, and you still want to play Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like it's that same kick. Like I've went to her story. I hope she's okay with that. But my wife is in her 30s, and like she is not very hearing impaired at times. But her favorite game is Crash Bandicoot. There was no really accessibility point back there like for games like that. But like nowadays, she has that option if she want to get back into playing games like this. I think a game like Hi-Fi Rush, or Forza Motorsport, which my son wants to play racing games. Like that would be a fun moment for them. Like, and she can be able to fully take part in something like that. And I get like it's not like the biggest category for like the people talk about. Like I feel like stuff like this is needed like to have more of a spotlight attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad that the Game Awards puts a spotlight on stuff like that.
Right. What is your next category? What do you want to get into next?
I'm looking at most anticipated game because this was one of the hardest ones. I was like, how are you going to make me? How dare you put? There are two that are on here that I'm just like, these are disrespectful to have them compete against each other for my love.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I guess what it is? Is it Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Yep.
That goes without saying. And is it Hades 2?
Yes, it is.
I knew it. I can't understand that, man. Like you when you told me about your love for Hades 2, like like for Hades in general, like okay, that's it. I thought Tekken 8, but you kind of not the biggest Tekken 8 guy, but yeah, definitely Hades 2.
I'm excited for Tekken 8 for specifically the Rusty Rupees podcast. Right. They stream every Tuesday night, Tekken Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Twitch.tv/Rusty Rupees every single Tuesday. And they have been doing this for over a year at this point. And they actually, for one of their recent Tekken Tuesdays, played the Tekken 8 beta because they've been playing Tekken 7. And I'm excited for them to get their hands on the full game of Tekken 8. And like the life that Tekken 8 is going to breathe into Tekken Tuesday. Like it's already...
Nice wording. I like it. Nice wording.
I mean, it's already like hype. There are already great fights happening. There's already a community forming around that. I just know that Tekken 8 is going to like propel it like beyond the stars,
I mean, like, I hear you. And they just like how Cyberpunk got rejuvenized by a series on Netflix. There's a movie, a new Tekken movie came out early this year. That's on Netflix right now also. And there's going to be a sequel to that film. Like, it's already been confirmed. So that's just going to rejuvenize this franchise a little bit more on top of it. So, yeah. No, I hear you. I want to see how that Tekken community plays out also. What were their thoughts, the Rusty Rupee podcast? What were their thoughts about Tekken 8?
It's just everything they could have wanted and more.
That's cool.
Like, I haven't... If they've actually given their official thoughts on a recent episode of the podcast, I've missed it. But just... I think I was playing Final Fantasy with them the Tuesday after the beta ended. And they're like, I can't believe we're going back to Tekken 7. Like... We just need Tekken 8. We just need it out here.
Right? I can hear somebody in the background. Boo! I want Tekken 8. That's cool. Right on. That's a good feeling, man. That's a good feeling, especially when you're a part of a big community like that. You're really anticipating that game to come out. That's awesome.
But as far as the two that I need directly in my veins, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and because it's so early in the year, like the hype cycle, there was the Story So Far trailer that just dropped for this game earlier today as of recording. And so, like, 7 Rebirth is really... It's so close I can taste it.
I like it. All right. So, Anton has things about that with his buds, which is cool. All right, man. You got something to look forward to.
Yep. Most anticipated. They have Zach Fair on the cover of the game. I can't not it's just.
I hear you. I put the new Final Fantasy VII as the most anticipated game for next year because I thought about you, but I also thought about myself. And like that was one of the first SquareSoft games. I'm gonna keep on saying SquareSoft because that's what it was at the time. That was one of my first SquareSoft games that I've ever played, and I'm really excited to see this game come back out. Like I'm really. Like,
you always got to say the whole name because there's always two huge Japanese entities that merge. So you gotta it's Square
Enix.
Square Enix because it's Squaresoft and Enix, and they merged.
Was at the time when that game came out, it was just Squaresoft. It was only just Squaresoft, so that's why I say Squaresoft. But like, I hear what you're saying. But at the time when I was playing that game, it was like strictly only Squaresoft.
Right, Squaresoft and Enix were competitors, but it's like Bandai Namco. I still hear people like refer to games as Bandai games or Namco games, and it's like. It's Bandai Namco, Square Enix, it's what was the other? Koei Tecmo. Like a lot of these major Japanese gaming brands, the only one Capcom and Sega. And Sega has kind of absorbed things like Atlas, but those are kind of the two that have like maintained their singular identity.
I agree with you. You're talking that whole like culture of people just referring to it like as one developer when like it's clearly two or multiple companies put together. Like that irks you. I hear you.
Yeah, it's just because like a lot of times one will get preferential treatment over the other, and it's kind of like no, they're equal parts. They're both their names are in the name.
It's in the name. It is. It really are. So yeah. I hear you. But I do have the indie games of the year set up. I see like the game that I really want to play this year, Sea of Stars, attached to this.
Best independent game?
Mm-hmm. From Sabotage Studios, you got Dredge from Black Salt Games and Team 17. You got Dave the Diver from Mint Rocket.
Which is not just to put it out there. Dave the Diver is not an independent game. Mint Rocket is part of Nexon. It says for outstanding and creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Dave the Diver is made within the traditional publisher system. Just had to put that out there.
I got you. I'm pretty sure that's a whole episode we can get into when it comes to that. We definitely got to come back to Mint Rocket. Next up is Cocoon from Geometric Interactive and Annapurna Interactive. And lastly,
you should know Annapurna from films. Because that was the first time I encountered Annapurna Productions. I know I've played a lot of Annapurna games in the years since, but the first time I ever saw the Annapurna logo, it was before a film.
Really?
Yeah.
And the last one, I'll come back to that. But the last one is Viewfinder from Sad Owl Studios and Thunderful Publishing. Those are your indie games of the year. I can't speak for all these games, but I can speak for Sea of Stars, and that one looked pretty awesome. But like you always have your opinion when it comes to indie games. Like that's more of a sweet spot for you, if I'm correct, right? That's like indie games.
Well, this year I haven't really played any of these. This year has just kind of been entirely too stacked with the big budget AAA blockbuster titles in series that I've cared about and will continue to care about.
I get that.
And so this year, I voted Sea of Stars because in my group of friends, the people who have had the time and have put the energy towards it have really enjoyed Sea of Stars.
It's a cool looking game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played the demo and it didn't immediately click with me like it was clicking with other people. And then I have the full game. It's on PlayStation Plus Extra, so I have it installed on my PlayStation. It's just a matter of not that the demo left a bad taste in my mouth. It's just I could play Sea of Stars or I could continue playing Tears of the Kingdom because I picked that back up so I could try and beat it before the end of the year. Or a few weeks ago, it was played.
That's an A+ game, Tears of the Kingdom. How about this? Let's compare it to last year's independent game of the year, which was it Vampire? Well, the indie game of the year.
Oh, best indie game?
It was a vampire game, like I was playing recently, right?
Yeah, it probably is Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, Vampire Survivor. What would you play? Would you rather play like Sea of Stars? Or would you rather play like Vampire Survivors? Which one would you rather?
Vampire Survivors, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. All right.
Yeah, I've played some Vampire Survivors this year, where I
did you?
really, yeah.
You can't talk about it? No. So you're about to say you can't talk about? You can talk about Vampire. It's cool. Yeah, what happened with Vampire Survivors stays with Vampire Survivors. I understand.
Oh no, Steam Deck's right here. Keep it at the ready when I gotta go.
Is it? Oh, it's still like on your phone. Okay, because I know. What's that? Was that a Steam Deck in your hand?
Yeah. Old faithful, old reliable.
I actually heard like some recent news about the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
They're making them smaller. They're making them faster, more accessible. Like the stuff we talked about, like when the first one was announced. Like if enough fans got hopped on board, they're gonna keep on making them better and smaller. So like it's happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, they're not smaller. They're the exact same form factor, but they are lighter.
That's what it was, lighter. Right.
They're lighter. They have a better screen. They have better battery life. They have better performance.
See, that's why I don't get first gen stuff. But this second generation sounds pretty nice.
Well, we know and I mean, this is Gen 1.5. Like, if you're really holding out for, like, the revolution of, like, all that they've learned between the first Steam Deck, the Steam Deck OLED, there's going to be a Steam Deck 2. It's probably a few years out, but yeah, there's going to be a Steam Deck 2. That's going to be... So, like, if you really don't want to spring for first gen... Even this second gen one is still it's the same processor, so it technically under the hood has the same horsepower of the one that I currently have, but it's a better optimized chip, so it's giving you better battery life on the same battery. It's a better screen, but in the same form factor.
I can rock with that. Like I still want it, but I didn't want the first gen. Like I knew I didn't want that, but the second gen does sound a lot more accessible since they put a lot more thought into it.
All right.
Speaking of thought and putting things and stuff, like just to take a mild break from this, are you excited for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game next year?
No, not at all.
Okay, still no go on that. Okay.
None of the new things they showed even like helped in the slightest. No. It just kind of made it worse. And it's coming out within a month of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game that I just gave my Game Award vote for most anticipated game.
That's funny because the same thing happened with like the Final Fantasy 16, like in that the Gotham game. Like it came out before that, and then Final Fantasy came out. I still no one talked about the Gotham Knights, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gotham Knights is currently available on PlayStation Plus Extra, and one of my friends who was the most into the Arkham games tried it out and said, "Don't even bother downloading it."
Wow, that's big. That's big. That's wow. You really gotta not like something for that to be the case. All right. What's your next category, man?
Well, I think we'll take a quick break. I'm going to pause the recording.
Sure, you want to do.
All right. The next category, I guess we'll do since we're back.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were rolling. Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? We're back.
It's best adaptation because this was another hard one. Because we got a lot of really great adaptations this year, and I've actually watched half of two of them, the entirety of two of them, and one of them I want to watch.
I know for a fact you watched Last of Us, and you didn't see the Super Mario Bros. Movie?
Yeah.
That's two. Okay, so the other one has to be Twisted Metal.
I watched half of Twisted Metal and half of Castlevania Nocturne.
Nocturnal. Yeah, okay.
But the Gran Turismo movie, like, just as a fan of Gran Turismo, I want to see the Gran Turismo movie. I'm just waiting for it to come to streaming or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I can wait a little bit after the streaming too. Like I want to wait. I want to make sure that there's no zero hype or negativity around this film before I watch it, because it's Gran Turismo, like you said. It was a lot of our first, like, high budget racing game, so I can take my time for Gran Turismo. So,
well, it's like a sports movie, so
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard actually pretty good things about it, considering, like, in comparison to, like, the Uncharted movie.
See, you're getting to those weeds like that. That's why I had to wait, because of that. And Uncharted, like, I didn't mind Uncharted.
I saw Uncharted in theaters. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed Uncharted.
Like, as a majority, fans hated that movie. They couldn't stand it. I didn't mind it. It wasn't awful. Like, it was what I thought it was going to be. So I wasn't really surprised, like, when it wasn't better than that. So, yeah. I don't even like Mark Wahlberg in, like, the movie was decent. So, yeah. Whatever, I guess. So those fans. But I did watch Twisted Metal. Watch the first episode. It's campy. It's very NBC.
It is. That is a great way of putting it. It is very NBC.
Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't bad. I didn't mind watching it. I feel like if I had, like, a couple buddies to watch it with, like, and, like, we can rip on it, because, like, it's a show that you can rip on. Like, it makes fun of itself as you're watching it.
Yeah, so, and I mean, like, I was watching it with Angelina, and she's like, it's not the worst thing she's watched recently, so.
Right.
And she didn't, she watched several episodes before she realized Twisted Metal was a video game.
Just based off video game? Yeah, it's based off video game. I know, crazy.
Yeah, all that Sweet Tooth characters, ice cream truck, it's a whole thing.
You don't remember that? Yeah, right? I said that to my wife, like, you don't remember this game coming out? Like, it was everywhere. But all right, I guess, yeah. Like, he was, like, over everything. Always. Sweet Tooth was everywhere in the 90s.
Well, to be fair, as being born in 94,
can give you some setbacks. Understood.
Right. My first real introduction to Twisted Metal was the PS3 reboot of Twisted Metal.
Not the same. Not the same type of game, but I hear you.
Yeah.
Nocturnal.
Well, I mean, I'm aware of the other ones now. I'm just that was
I get you.
First culture. David Scott Jaffe driving out onto the stage during a PlayStation E3 press conference,
right,
to announce the PS3 reboot of Twisted Metal. Like,
cool.
That's a moment. That is one of those. I remember that happening.
And, like, that's like the beauty of, like, of different sets of nerdom, like gaming. Like, you get to do stuff like that, and it can seem relevant and cool, and it has like lifelong effects in you, like with yourself, with a situation like that. That's your first introduction to that. Mine was, like, literally just hearing about the game coming out on television. We got two different experiences of a game that you and I both really appreciate, and, like, it's a cool, like, dichotomy when it comes to that, like, in cultures like gaming. And I just love it. I sound like an anthropologist, but it just seems really cool to get yourself immersed in stuff like this.
Yeah. And I mean, while we're on immersion, you want to do best VR AR game? Because that...
you knew what I was thinking. I appreciate that. Give me a second. Best VR AR game. I'm probably gonna say the companies too. Yeah, I'll say that.
I got. Well, any of them you don't know, I got you. So
appreciate it. Gran Turismo 7 from
Polyphony Digital.
It's Polyphony. I thought, all right, I was gonna say something totally different. Thank you. And SIE. We got Horizon Call of the Mountain from Guerrilla Games and Fire Sprite and SIE. All right.
Well, yeah, both of those are PlayStation Studios first-party games. So we know Gran Turismo 7, the entire game's playable in VR. Horizon Call of the Mountain was a PSVR 2 launch title.
SIE is Sony Interactive Entertainment. That's what SIE is.
Yes.
I forgot about that. All right. I'm just saying SIE like I have no idea what the hell it is. Okay, good to know. Damn. What's the next one? Humanity is from the LTD and Enhanced Games. I'm pretty sure, like, the THA,
Yeah.
From LT, like that means something, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Like that game, I know through Enhance, and I know through 8.4 for localization.
Right on. Next up is Evil Village, VR mode, Capcom, and lastly is Synapse from In Dreams.
And so I know that this is going to be. It'll be interesting to see because
Humanity had a name for it this year. Like people, even
well,
people who didn't really talk
Humanity.
about it.
It's just because you've been around me. Humanity. It didn't really make that big of a splash.
No?
I voted for
Okay.
Humanity, and
Oh,
the
wow.
reason you heard about Humanity is because of me talking about Humanity, and so it's
But
really.
I started hearing about it more and more after you said it. Like it started popping up in my feed more since after you had said that.
Well, that's
Like-
the government spying on you.
Correct. Keep going.
But like, I feel like any of these could win.
Okay.
Horizon Call of the Mountain seems like the least
Logical one. Oh, really? Okay.
Well, because Gran Turismo 7 is a full game, Resident Evil Village is a full game, Synapse is a full game, Humanity is a full game. Horizon Call of the Mountain is kind of like a tech demo. It's like it's that launch title of like here, like Gran Turismo 7 was a game that was out before the PSVR that just like added on support for PSVR. Humanity is a game that all of their puzzle games that Enhance has made have VR components to them. So this one,
but it's efficient and it's a big budget game, so that's why it's on the list. No, I get you. Yeah, that makes sense. So like you picked Humanity, but which one do you think is gonna win?
I'm not super in tune with the VR community like that, but I could see Resident Evil Village probably.
It must be interactive. I wouldn't mind seeing like what that play out look like in VR, like just to see a demo of like what that VR interaction looks like. I bet it's pretty cool. It's pretty. I was thinking since like people love going fast that the Gran Turismo was going to be your choice.
Gran Turismo, like the thing is, and we talked about this on Cheesy Controller a few weeks ago. Gran Turismo is a racing sim. It is not a racing game. It is a sim.
Wow.
It is a car simulator. It is not like Gran Turismo 7 is so like high concept, like boutique kind of. It has this very like prestige kind of feel to it, and Gran Turismo, like as Gran Turismo has gone on, it's gotten like smaller in like the zeitgeist of gaming culture.
Okay.
Because things like Need for Speed have come along, things like Forza Horizon have come along, like a lot of these more racing, fun, action-focused racing games have come along, and Gran Turismo has stuck to its, we're going to simulate how if you actually put these brake calipers on this specific kind of tire in these specific weather conditions, that we have a realistic simulation of how the car will perform in these exact circumstances, and they're out like taking high-res photos of like pebbles on the ground next to a racetrack. Like it is that kind of, it is car porn. It is like if you are like into cars, like racing games, it's like that's like a classic genre of game. Like it's a great way to compete. It, like racing games have their place and are fun, but Gran Turismo is not what I would call a racing game. Yes, you do race in it, but if you just,
I thought you were gonna go with that after you said like car porn. I thought you were gonna talk about having sex with cars and just gonna turn into a whole different show. But you didn't go there.
No,
but no, I hear
go
it.
there, D.
Yeah, I just thought you were. Like we talk about like rule. What's the rule? The bad rule, like the naughty rule. We talk about that rule a lot. We talk about that rule a lot, so I figured you're going to go that direction. You didn't go that direction, which is probably for the best for the show. But I hear you with the game sim for Gran Turismo. That makes sense. I can see that, even though it is still a racing game. But it sounds like you're putting the Gran Turismo kind of like on a pedestal. Like if I could be like,
I don't think it's going to
here.
win. To be fair, I don't think it's going to win. I think Resident Evil Village is going to win.
Gotcha. But you do think Gran Turismo is put a bit on a higher status because of what it is and its longevity. Am I wrong in saying that?
Well, yeah. And I mean, but Gran Turismo is a very specific thing that, like, people probably wouldn't vote it best VR. Like, it's definitely... The VR mode of Gran Turismo 7 is not a mass appeal product.
Like the most experience you've already got out of Gran Turismo, you probably already got it out of Gran Turismo by playing the game. I get you. VR won't change that, but if VR could change that experience for you with a Resident Evil game, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I have moved myself on along to a very interesting category, which is best performance.
Ooh.
I know, because like your boy's inside of here, Ben Starr of Final Fantasy 16. I know, like
well, you know who I voted for, so.
You voted for Idris Elba. I mean, come on. Or was it Cameron Monaghan, like from Star Wars? Like, was that the choice? Which one was it?
Ben Starr, all the way.
You voted for Ben Starr? No way.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming. All right.
Ben Starr's character trait is voice acting. Like, his IRL stat sheet, like, has voice acting as a, like, passive trait.
Dude, I didn't realize how hardcore this guy was into voice acting until I heard him on an episode of Kind of Funny Games. And like, he is a diehard Final Fantasy fan. Like this like role for him was a literal dream role for him. And like, he has no regrets about his performance in like this entire duration of the game. And like, that kind of passion is rare amongst people. So I hear you.
That is one thing, like, any news about, like, because Charles Martinet stepped down as the voice actor of Mario this year. And, like,
that was big.
And just kind of him, anytime there was news about voice acting, he would go and throw his hat in the ring and kind of make content around being a voice actor. And I mean, out of all these people, Joshua is still like that line delivered by Ben Starr. The way it was delivered is going to live on through time. Every
the rest of the names are the contenders in this as well. It's Cameron Monaghan of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Melanie LeBurn of Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Those are your contestants.
And Yuri did a great job. And from what I've seen, Melanie also did a great job. It seems like everybody actually who's in this category belongs in this category except for Idris. Like,
you think Idris belongs in the category? Oh, man.
Because apparently his performance is like, okay, you have a British accent and people know you have a British accent. But you were also in The Wire, so people know that you can do an American accent. And you're somehow in the middle of the road of those two things through the entire performance of Phantom Liberty. It just seemed like, based on the people who played that DLC, like Idris Elba's performance did not stand out.
Like, I'm hearing about this.
Yuri's performance definitely stepped it up for Spider-Man 2. Like, some of the sequences of like Pete in the black suit and just like
writing helps with that, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I mean, the performance, like, I don't want to take any credit away from like his like performance as an actor. But yeah, I voted Ben Starr. It'll be interesting to see who wins because the split of games on here, I think a lot of people are going to vote based on the game popularity. That they've... Well, it's just interesting to see because I haven't played Alan Wake 2, but like if Ben Starr weren't on here, I'd probably vote for Melanie or Yuri or Cameron. I don't have enough experience with Baldur's Gate 3 to know if Neil Newborn's character is like... That'd be a question for me to ask Radic when I see him tomorrow because he has been on Baldur's Gate, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Given like the games of that Radic told me he's played this year, that makes sense. And like he's a big proprietor of Alan Wake. Like I know you guys both talked to Alan Wake last time I was with you both individually. So yeah. he thought that game up. It was Sifu was his other game that he really played. I think it was the beginning of this year. Street Fighter 6 also, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe was like one of the big games of the year this year also. So
well,
I can
Master
definitely see him
Duel was last year. Master
yeah,
Duel.
but he was playing it hard this year. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Okay. All right. Baldur's Gate. I can't wait to hear the episode. I hope like you get like a good like lowdown on what his thoughts are this year. If you've done the Game of the Year episode with Raddick at his studio, that dude knows his games for sure. So
yeah,
I don't have a choice. Just let you know, I don't have a choice. I just don't. I can't put any. I know Cameron performance was not as strong as I was going to be in that game, and I watched like a good portion of the gameplay, and like it was good. It didn't make me want to or not to play the game anymore. It was kind of neutral in my opinion. So that's me talking.
You gotta say it with me, Joshua.
I didn't say it with you. I dropped the ball. What's your next category?
I guess we'll do best ongoing.
Best ongoing. Who's in this? All right. Oh, it's like that kind of ongoing. Gotcha.
Yeah. This is going to be the every game. This category is going to be 90 games long in the next couple of years because it's kind of like the best games as service game.
Right.
So we got Apex Legends from Respawn. We got Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red. We got Final Fantasy XIV from Square Enix. We got Fortnite from Epic Games. And we got Genshin Impact from Hoyoverse. And you know I voted Final Fantasy XIV. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see because Genshin players are a different breed of crazy. So the Genshin players will come.
It is 14. It's Final Fantasy 14, not Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
why is it 14?
Because 14's the MMO. 14's the one that I played and beat 15. Gotcha. And then I played and beat 16, but 14 is it's the best ongoing game. It is I feel like Apex really kind of fell off a cliff this year. Fortnite also had a really good year. Cyberpunk, with them doing 2.0. But Final Fantasy 14, the post Endwalker patches, we've gotten some, like the music for the newest 8-man trial, that is, Final Fantasy 14, anytime I see that game nominated, because it's nominated somewhere else for, like, not necessarily a game that came out this year, I'm voting Final Fantasy 14. I have a feeling Genshin Impact's going to win because those people are crazy.
I don't think Genshin, I feel like Genshin Impact would be the safe option. Like, so if it win, it will win because of that reason alone. But like, I hear you about Final Fantasy or Fortnite. I feel like one of the two games like are going to be like the top ones to win.
And year. Then I don't know who's still playing Apex.
Yeah.
But I guess there are people out there playing Apex.
It was a drop off, big. Like I remember that drop off. Like a lot of people said, like Apex and thing hitting like the way it used to. Like a lot of people just.
Well, yeah, because a lot of the key staff that made that game special and what it was left Respawn.
Right. That was a big thing this year. So yeah, no, I hear you. It definitely affect them next year. They may not be here next year for sure in this category. But I feel like we're in the same boat. Either Fortnite or Final Fantasy has this one. I'm 100% right there with you.
No, I'm saying Genshin's probably going to win.
Oh, you really think Genshin's going to get this? But you voted for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Here's a category I think like you may have a little fun with. Even though like I didn't put as much of myself into this one as I probably could have. This is best mobile game. And right off the cuff, you got Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis from Applebee and Square Enix. You got Hello Kitty Island Adventure from Sunblink Entertainment. Honkai Star Rail from Hoyoverse. You got Monster Hunter Now from Niantic?
Yep.
And Capcom. And lastly, you got Terra Nil from Free Lives and Netflix. Interesting.
These are Netflix games. I got to put you on, D.
Yeah?
Netflix has games, and it has good games, and it's getting some
Wow.
really good games next year. So
Look at that. Google Stadia goes away like, and Netflix like, hey, we got you.
well,
What am I doing?
Netflix isn't trying to stream the games to you. Netflix is letting you download the client to your phone and play them natively on your phone.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
that's kind of
saying.
convenient, really.
I gotta. You have a Netflix subscription. I know you do.
I do.
And
I just reapplied for it. Yeah.
so open the Netflix
Like,
app on your
Pennsylvania
phone,
stuff.
go to the games tab, and see what's there.
I-
There are some good games there already, and Hades just
It's
is
gonna be
coming
there.
2024, so you can play Hades.
see? You guys didn't know that Anton also worked for Netflix, but he does.
I don't. Not yet. Pay me,
Not
Netflix.
yet. Baby, give him his ducats. As my wife says. Give him his ducats.
I will take
Like
the
his
buckets of ducats.
Buckets of duckets. I'm gonna tell
Fuck
that
it.
shit to my kids. I won't say that part. I'll say the first part. But those are your games for best indie games. I'm not sure where I would put my money on this. I'm not too familiar with any of them. I know you
Honkai
made
Star
this
Rail. I need you to
Really?
understand that Hoyoverse has a cult following, and like the same way Genshin Impact, anywhere Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail are nominated, they are probably
Okay.
going to win because they have international recognition. They are just kind of these pop culture phenomenon. Like I can't get on YouTube without seeing a Honkai Star Rail ad.
It's that way for me with Genshin. But I feel like since we're saying all these names out loud, hey ads, did you miss me?
Well, I'll definitely take ads for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Apparently, is rumored to get controller support soon. I have it installed on my phone. I want to play it with the backbone. I don't want to play touch controls, but that's what I voted for. But and I want to shout out Monster Hunter now. I can't play two Niantic games at once, and I've been
I
playing.
wasn't even gonna
Pokemon
remind
Go.
you. I wasn't even gonna remind you. I wasn't gonna say a word about it. I just want to see if you're gonna remind yourself about talking about
no.
that. You did.
I mean,
you got it.
the problem is my Google account is linked to my Niantic account. And
Okay.
I play Pokemon Go on my Niantic account frequently. I would play Pokemon Go at least twice a day, every day.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. That's all. All right.
I got almost 1,000 Pokemon, like where I only keep 2 copies of like any like different Pokemon I get, and my storage is I have 1,050 available slots in storage, and over 900 of those are full.
That's wow. All right. Remember last time we talked about Pokemon Go, like it was with you and someone else, and you guys were telling me about, like, I think it was Reddick. We were talking about like the different Pokemon all over the globe, like they're different region Pokemon that you only get in those regions that you can't get anywhere else.
They've been better about having special events. Like I actually went out and walked around in Decatur a couple weeks ago for the Wooper Community Day, and I got myself shiny Wooper, a shiny Quagsire, a shiny Paldean Whoopin, and a shiny Clodsire, I think is what that evolves into.
As interesting as that sounds, I would much rather like to be a person on a bench watching the citizens of Decatur watch individuals with their phones walk around in circles looking for things. I feel like the conversation that the individuals have watching the people playing Pokemon Go would be fascinating. But like that, I'm glad you got the Pokemon you wanted to get, and like they have these events that are coming out more and more of, like, I feel like, if I was a Pokemon Go kind of guy, I'd be hardcore into it. But sadly, I'm not. I never hopped on that train.
And so the problem is, with me playing so much Pokemon Go, I can't balance 2 Niantic games, first of all, because I've tried before and it hasn't worked. And then Monster Hunter Now wasn't recognizing my Niantic account, and I'm like, no way.
You mentioned that on an episode of Cheesy Controller before. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I haven't been on Monster Hunter Now.
Gotcha. I just checked out multiplayer games. It seems pretty generic, so I'm not going to get into it. But
let's do it.
All right.
Because I feel like
after that, I went to best RPG, so we can talk about that one afterwards. But like best multiplayer, absolutely.
best multiplayer: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yeah, this is generic in my view.
Well, so Diablo 4 is on sale right now for Black Friday. And now that Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, like
I know.
Bobby Kotick will be gone by the end of the year. I think I'm going to wait on more than a 40% discount. Like they could go.
You mean like now you can get yourself invested into it? It seems like things are working out for us progressive thinking individuals a little well for it. That the year ends up.
That was my thing about Diablo 4. I wanted to play Diablo 4.
Yeah.
But Diablo 4 in the state Activision Blizzard was in when they released that game, I just couldn't in good faith support that game.
You mentioned that multiple times, yeah.
Now that Microsoft has bought Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick, like the ringleader of that like horrible like corporate structure going on with that company, like and like culture of abuse and toxicity. Like it seems like Microsoft is going through and trying to clean that up. And so I can in more good faith actually buy this game and not feel like I'm supporting like some of the things that we've heard come out of Activision Blizzard.
I think like folks with ideals like that is why it happened in the first place, and the low sales of this game kind of like help with that as well to make sure like this whole situation happened with Microsoft. So I'm with you. I'm glad it's over, and now I can probably play it because people talk crap about Diablo every single year it comes out. Whenever a new Diablo game comes out, they trash the scores all the time. And I end up playing a Diablo game after I hear those bad reviews, and like I love the Diablo game. Like Diablo 3 had horrible reviews.
I enjoyed what I played of the Diablo 4 beta because I didn't have to give them any money to play the Diablo 4 beta, and I enjoyed what I played. And
so, once it comes out on Nintendo Switch, which is very soon, I'm going to be getting Diablo 4.
Oh, and it has crossplay, so you know.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. We tried that with Marvel Snap. I can never find you on there, so it never worked out for us.
Well, yeah, it's just Marvel Snap. You know, they got to have a good season to get me on.
Starting to get away from me now too. I'm not. It took me a while, but I finally get to that point also. These new cards are cool. I'm not going to deny that. These new cards are really cool. But unless like you get like the deck to go along with these cards, it's like, no, what's the point? Because these decks, these individuals are making them late. They're a terror. They will mess up your weekend if you want to spend a weekend playing Marvel Snap. These new decks are insane, and you gotta play these individuals on like the event. Like we gotta like beat them 10 points each go around. If you're not playing that and you can't screenshot their decks and make your own decks from those decks, you're screwed. So I don't care if that's like a cultural faux pas. If you got a cool deck and I can't find that deck anywhere else, I'm gonna screenshot your deck and make that deck my own. So, Agatha, you have been a sin to me inside these days of Marvel Snap, and you have gone black and white so many times in my deck. So, good on you, Agatha. Keep doing your thing. You played the Agatha Harkness deck? No. Yeah, it's right. She's bar none like the best card in this entirety of Marvel Snap. Like what was it Alof? They brought this Alof characters. Like when you do bring a card out, even if it's flipped over, it's destroyed. That can't stop Agatha. Like he can't stop Agatha. Agatha is like unstoppable, and they gotta find a card that's gonna beat her. They do. They gotta find a card that's gonna beat Agatha Harkness because nothing has so far.
All right. So you said best RPGs next?
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in the mix. It is Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Stars of Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Now this is a very different kind of list. Like it's a little bit Like, okay, I can see this, but it kind of catches you off guard towards like the last three. I wasn't expecting Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield be in this list. I just didn't. I'm not sure what I
Because
would
Starfield
replace it
didn't
with.
really deserve to get
Mm-hmm.
nominated for anything this year because it really wasn't outstanding in any particular way. But
It
you
wasn't.
know, Starfield's going to win this category because
Oh, stop! It's not.
it's
No,
going to win
come on.
because
You believe
Xbox
that?
fanboys, yes, there are Xbox fanboys that are mad that Starfield isn't nominated for Game of the Year, and they're going to see Starfield under Best RPG. They're going to vote that. I guarantee you, Starfield, like, because Starfield has to win something.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those categories that is really just going to be.
I still think it's Baldur's Gate 3. That's me talking. I still think it's going to be
Final
Baldur's Gate 3.
Fantasy 16.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
But
that's
your
your
category where, because Final
Controversy is
Fantasy
rising.
16 and Starfield, neither of them were nominated for overall Game of the Year. I think it's going to be the fight between those two because Baldur's Gate is nominated all over the place. Like, Baldur's Gate can completely like fall out of this category and it would still be able to win. Like, I think it is the game with the most nominations overall. So yeah, I think it's going to be between Final Fantasy 16 and Starfield. This is kind of the runoff Game of the Year.
I'm looking at esports, best esports events. You know, they have so many esports throughout the year. What am I saying? Like best con. That'd be cool to see a category about which convention really impressed you. But under the list of best esport events, I'm not sure how familiar you are with these, Anton, or those of you that are listening right now, but 2023 League of Legends World Championships, Blast.tv Paris Major 2023, Evo 2023, the International Dota 2 Championships 2023, and lastly, the Valorant Championships 2023. I am only familiar with like 2 of these.
Well, I'm familiar with all of them. League of Legends is probably going to win. It's really between League of Legends and Valorant. But this is the first one we did. I said I voted Evo because Evo is...
That's your go-to. Yeah, that's your baby.
So the next one that I'll do, I guess, working our way... We didn't do Best Family Game. And as a family man...
I don't think I put my kids on to any of these games. No, I did. I put them on to 2 of these games that are inside of here. You want to read them out?
Well, yeah. So we got Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I know my children are getting Super Mario Brothers Wonder for Christmas. That goes without saying. They're going to talk to their grandparents and swindle their way with a Super Mario Wonder. Because my son, like, we just watched the Super Mario Brothers movie at the Battery this weekend. So 2 lovely experiences for Mario. It was like, I'm being like facetious, but it really was a good experience. Like we brought snacks, we had like a little sit down, and my kids called them tabletops, towel tops. They call like a towel table. That's what a towel table, because we don't use picnic in our family. But I taught them on like the Mario Bros. We got to see the movie, and Disney Illusion Island is the other one I taught them up to. They've been watching those Mickey Mouse cartoons, so Disney Illusion is definitely like in their wheelhouse. And like I heard one of the hosts of Kind of Funny Games talk about that game, and he said he talked to his niece or nephew about this game. Like they loved it. He was really into it. Like it was a fun game. Not something you would put for Game of the Year or Best Family, but Game Awards otherwise. I keep saying Party Animal, and Pikmin 4 is very interesting. Sonic Superstars does not impress me in the slightest, but yeah, it's the audience. But I kind of found out more about this Party Animal.
It's interesting because normally Best Family Game is occupied entirely by Nintendo games. So the fact that it's only two this year?
Only 2.
And I voted Mario Wonder. I could see Mario Wonder winning it.
Yeah.
It's a
Mario game.
Yeah, but it's a Mario game.
Mario game. It's hard. Like it's hard to deny a Mario game. Like
especially in best family game. Like Mario is like Mickey Mouse, yes. Sonic, yes. Like
yeah.
all of these are family friendly IPs, but like Mario just kind of is a cut above the rest.
It is. It's like putting a Disney movie like in the best family in the Oscars. Like this is like Pixar or Disney. They're gonna win it. Like just gotta accept that. You just do. So
gotta accept the Iger.
Yeah, gotta accept the Iger. Get a little Iger in your life. Exactly. So I'm with you. I think Wonder's gonna win this. And like if my kid did watch the Game Awards, which we probably could make that happen, that'd probably be a good idea. Actually, this is why I need to get a bar. Get my little FTO bar. We can play the Game Awards. And like, it'd be a good time. It'd be a good time for everybody. But yeah, if my kids do watch it, they'll definitely be cheering on for Mario to win. Probably, I had to talk them down from Game of the Year. Like, come on, buddy, you're not gonna get Game of the Year. Like, let's be real. Do you want to talk about anything else before we go to Game of the Year? There's a lot more categories. I read them all out at the beginning of the show, but like, is there any other categories you want to get into before we get into Game of the Year?
I'll open up a couple. So I'm opening up Best Community Support. I'm gonna do Best Art Direction, and then I guess we can do Game of the Year. So Best Community Support, we got Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky.
Oh my goodness. So disappointed by that game at times, but like I get.
Well, you haven't played it in the last several years. If you have any complaints about No Man's Sky,
has it really changed itself around that much?
Yes.
All right.
Like
you're right, I haven't. I mean, like seen like interaction with that game in the past couple of years, so you're absolutely correct about that.
Well, several times a year they get major updates that add, so it's basically a MMO at this point.
Wow.
So it went from not actually having multiplayer to having like 4-player co-op multiplayer campaigns.
In different terrains of the game? Like you could be in different parts of... Wow. All right.
So
that's impressive.
There's like entire base building. Like this has become like what Starfield wishes it could have been.
Right. Well, it's still going strong. Starfield. I still have hopes for that in the future. I'm not going to deny that. Who made Starfield again? What was the company that made Starfield?
Bethesda.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Microsoft. Xbox. Like, we just
he puts so much respect and emphasis on companies. He's like, no, it's Microsoft. It's no more Bethesda. No, I get you. But like these are good options. Who do you think is going to win this category for community games?
Best community support. I think it might be an easy win for Baldur's Gate 3 because of all of the things that happened this year with them bringing it to Xbox.
Yeah.
And like all the hoops they had to jump through, and they did it for their community. They literally changed Xbox platform policies to get Baldur's Gate 3 to come to Xbox.
I put my eggs in the basket when it comes to Cyberpunk. I just like I've heard a lot from the Baldur's Gate community. I really have. I've seen a lot from the Baldur's Gate community. But like what I've seen. What's that?
You've seen that fan art.
I don't want to get into that. I think that fan art. Who hasn't seen Baldur's Gate fan art? But Cyberpunk, you caught me off guard with that one. Cyberpunk 2077 is like where I put my answer. I see a lot more from them like throughout different spots and like in inner circles, even like in passing conversation at these cons I've been to this year. Like Cyberpunk 2077 has been like on the lips of a lot of folks. Also Baldur's Gate 3, won't deny that. But like Destiny 2, Final Fantasy, and even No Man's Sky, I haven't heard any rumblings.
Final Fantasy has won this game several years in a row, and us Eorzeans, we plan on staking that, like, because Final Fantasy 14 was best ongoing and best community support. It won both last year. It better win both again this year.
Oh, is there that inflection in his voice? He got kind of stern about that one. What's the next category?
The next category I wanted to touch on was best art direction. Because I feel like all the games nominated here did very distinct things with their art direction, and I feel like a lot of them stand out. So we got Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what I was gonna pick. Then I can tell you what I'm gonna pick now. It was gonna be Alan Wake 2 when I first plowed only the first 4. Then I scrolled down a little bit more and I saw that Tears of the Kingdom is on this list. I think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna win.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom still is just artistically beautiful.
Beautiful.
I can see Hi-Fi Rush winning.
Yeah, a little bit.
I could see Hi-Fi and Alan Wake 2 because Alan Wake 2, everybody who's played it is so high on that game right now. Recency bias, there are people that I know that just went through the Game Awards voting and voted Alan Wake 2 everywhere they could.
For all of it. I can see that. I wouldn't even be upset about it. I can see that for sure. But in this category, Tears of the Kingdom. Period. If it doesn't win, I'll be disappointed. Full on.
Well, no, Hi-Fi. I think Hi-Fi Rush does a lot with its art direction.
It does.
And that is part of the fabric of the game is the art direction in that game. So
I just think the layers of Tears of the Kingdom is just so predominant that it doesn't compete with Hi-Fi.
I mean, Zelda iconography is iconic.
It's just. We are taking an intervention. Oh, holy hell! Anton is showing me a beautiful book that has a lovely sword on top of it that is set on the side, which I can't see right now, but maybe he'll read it out to us.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the complete official guide collector's edition.
Whew. It's thick. It's like my ex in high school. This thing is thick, full on.
It's a chonker.
It's a chonker. You definitely get the snoo from this bad boy for sure. But yeah.
But Zelda iconography is just you see a Triforce anywhere and know you're looking at a Triforce. You see the Master Sword somewhere, you're looking at the Master Sword. You see the Hylian shield, and I mean Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild already had great art direction, and Tears of the Kingdom just kind of took a lot of the things that were visually appealing about that game and just it's oh, you thought it looked cool when you activated a shrine before? How about we just make it look better?
And they did. And they did. And no one can take that away. Period. And I would love to go and split all these apart. But honestly, no, Tears of the Kingdom, it has this. Just point blank, I got nothing to say about that. That is my nit and grit of it. But to put that into the next category we're going to be talking about, I don't know if I can say the same thing. Game of the Year award. I'll do the top,
world exclusive.
Right? I'll do the top 3. I'll leave the bottom 3 for you. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right. Top 3 is Alan Wake.
These are in alphabetical order.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they really? They are. Look at that.
All the categories have been in alphabetical order.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Next up is Baldur's Gate 3. And after that, you got yourself Marvel Spider-Man 2.
All right. And then for the next 3, we got Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
This is tough. This is tough. Again, as I kind of keep putting this disclaimer out, have not played any of this game, have seen all of them in action, have seen every gameplay of all these games, all of them. And saying all that and putting that to what it is, and I try to take out the fact that I got some gamer in my blood every so often when I feel like my best answer for stuff like this, but this is Game of the Year. You got to go full gamer in a situation like this. And it's all about experience. It's all about how long you play it for, what it means to you, the characters, all that stuff. And I wanna put it out there. I'm gonna say what I think my favorite answer is, like, and who should probably win this. It's the same game, and like it's a game that I didn't think I was gonna give an answer to, but it's Alan Wake 2. Like be mad,
no, whoa,
be angry, I know.
I mean,
it
you
sounds
can
very
be
contrarian.
wrong.
It sounds contrarian.
But like, this is a toss-up between Baldur's Gate and Tears of the
3.
Kingdom.
Yeah, I know. Like that's who I think is gonna win. But like
you think Baldur? Which one, Baldur or Tears?
Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate is gonna win this. Period. Point blank. But like Alan Wake 2 really surprised me. Like in seeing what it was and what it could possibly be in the future with that same engine. Alan Wake blew me away. Period. Baldur's Gate, gaming wise, community wise, like what it is. Like I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 had it. I think like Tears of the Kingdom would have had it if not Baldur's Gate came out first. It came out afterwards.
That's the thing. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom, people were buying Switches for Tears of the Kingdom. People
Agreed.
Like
not
Tears
just buying Switches, but buying Switches that was exclusively about this game. Yeah, without the game being attached to it. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, yeah, that Switch was hot. Like, I would totally, if I could get my hands on the Tears of the Kingdom OLED, I totally would, because that is a beautiful piece of hardware right there.
It's gorgeous. Even like that little off-color green, like it's so Zelda that you don't even get upset about how green it is, and like I loved it. Like this is very quintessential Zelda. Like you get this, you whip this out, people know like, is that the Zelda Switch? It most certainly is. It's most certainly. Thank you for noticing that. It most certainly is. And it had a lot of hype behind it. I agree with you.
My Switch is green.
I feel like you're showing me. Let me show you. There it is. That's the same one my kids have. My kids have the very same color Switch.
The double green?
With the green and like the off green one.
Oh, because I was about to say
like the faded one, the faded green one. Yeah.
I had to import because the Splatoon they sold pink and green. Like
I remember that
each side individually, and they sold one pair in North America, and they sold one pair only in Japan. So I had to import the pair from Japan to get the double green.
See, we got that color green and like a faded color green,
like a pastel, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Not. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but still, like the Tears of the Kingdom Switch that has that green color attached to it, I like it because it is Zelda. Baldur's Gate 3 is the hottest game. Like it could win. I can see it winning. But like after talking with you,
but it's a toss-up because like think about the TikToks of people crucifying Koroks. Think about like just the conversation. Like Baldur's Gate 3 has been huge. Yes, you can fuck a bear. Like we all get it.
But think about the amount of dicks that you put inside of Zelda. Like you know, they all have their positives and negatives. You know what I mean? They really do. They really do. There's a lot of penises in Zelda. Like a lot.
I mean, I guess that really depends on how you're playing the game. Because I played like 40 hours and haven't encountered a single penis. But
I'm not saying play. I'm talking about like the penises that people make as engineering tools inside of Zelda. Like there are a lot of videos of people like just making shafts with dangling participles attached to it. Testicles. That's what I'm talking about.
Talking about the testes.
Talking about the testes. But Baldur's Gate is full on like immersed into like the X-rated world of adulthood. Zelda just like dabbles in it because people put that inside there. Like, you know, it's the penis concept. I forget what it's called. Was it like it's the game, the penis ratio? It's a thing, right?
TTD?
Yeah. Isn't that what it is? Yeah, exactly. It was like nanoseconds after this game came out that happened. So like it may not be much to most people out there, but like it's noticeable to me. My goodness, what did I say about me? Anyways, I don't think it's gonna be Marvel Spider-Man 2. I don't think it'll be like Wonder. I just don't. I do not.
I voted Spider-Man 2 because out of these games, I feel like it was probably the best one I played this year just because of how much I thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And Final Fantasy 16 wasn't nominated because I would brute force.
You know it wasn't going to be, though. You're like, come on.
It could replace Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a remake of like a decade-old game
But
Like, at least Final Fantasy 16 is a new thing.
But it was an incredible remake. It
yeah,
was like
but
a really good remake.
I don't know. Like, I
Come
understand
on.
that it is a ground-up remake and it should qualify. Like, but
Like the Resident Evil 2 remake got nominated.
yeah, and
Didn't
I
it?
mean, it
Yeah.
totally deserved it. But the thing, I just feel like I don't. If I had to kick one of these games off the nominations for Game of the Year to get my pick of Final Fantasy 16 in here, it would be Resident Evil 4. And I feel like the people that want Starfield nominated for Game of the Year would pick the same thing.
But like I wouldn't replace Resident Evil with Starfield. And from what my understanding about Final Fantasy 16 is, like I can get why it was nominated for Game of the Year, but that's just me. Like I don't
know. I don't like how the sentiment around this game is changing. People done switched up and forgot where they came from.
Hey, I again haven't played it, but I hear the sentiment about the game. Yeah. And these are diehard like Final Fantasy fans. Like I understand it. I do. I get
Look, anybody who says it's not a real Final Fantasy obviously doesn't play Final Fantasy because every Final Fantasy is different.
You tell them
they say this every time a new Final Fantasy comes out. Well,
that's
not real Final Fantasy. What is real Final Fantasy? Because at this point, we have 16 core entries plus dozens of spin-offs, and they're all different. Hearts.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No two Final Fantasy are the same. None. I agree with you. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just telling you from what I've heard, what the culture is talking about. That's what
Everybody's like, oh, it's not really an RPG. I'm like, look.
I get it in Star Trek all the time. All the time. Enterprise, like, Discovery is not real Star Trek. Lord Deck's not real Star Trek. Like, okay. Like, I think we've been watching the two different Star Treks if that's the case. Because, like, this is exactly the same thing we've been seeing this entire time. But, a little different and modernized. And you're saying the same thing about this new Final Fantasy game. It's a little different. It's modernized. But like this is essentially the same Final Fantasy you've been playing for the past decade or so. Like, come on.
The same franchise that innovates and reinvents itself in between every
time. Exactly. I hear you, man.
Crazy.
I really do.
Who would have thought that? Maybe this time they should have just stuck with the formula they had in 15 or 14
and then we'd be pissed off
or
about
13. That. Or 12, or 11, or 10,
or 11.
Or 9.
Oh God, it's 11 and 9. Don't get me started with those crazy people. Jeez, those fans are die hard.
14 fans are die hard, and this is the same team that made 14, made 16.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But Baldur's Gate couldn't win it, but Alan Wake should. So
Tears could. I still feel like
it's not different. Good, yeah.
Should I change my vote to Tears right now to just?
Tears good. I mean, forget Marvel. Forget Spider-Man 2. The story was good. It's Spider-Man 2. I'll say that. The story was really good.
But the game was also really good. Okay, yeah, I changed my Game of the Year vote to Tears of the Kingdom.
Did you really go and change your vote?
Yes.
On air. This is Table Cheese exclusive. He changed his vote.
For Game of the Year from Spider-Man Game of the Year to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I am so posting this on Twitter. Oh my goodness, Anton, you're going to hear all about this. This dude changed his answer mid-recording. That shows where he's at, guys. All you Spider-Man fans, he ate the burger too, so.
I did.
I'm messing with you. He did.
Did he? I
was talking about that. I was talking about that yesterday too, like how Anton ate the red burger and I was supposed to eat the blue one. But as soon as I went there, they stopped selling it. I don't know what happened. I thought I was making a good time. I didn't make a good time. I went there once.
Sounds like you were scared to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sounds like there was fear in your heart.
Anton, I'm afraid of a lot of things, but blue bread is not what's. I mean, it is at times. So that's part of it. No. Not afraid of blue bread, Anton. They just didn't have anyone else there.
I mean, like fluorescent red bread is
unnatural. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. You're a wild man, dude. Like you are a wild man.
Would I do it again? No. But I did do. I can say that I did do that.
You can't say you did do that. You can't say that. You took me a picture and sent me right to the table. Here it is. There's a burger. Oh, whew. All right.
I ate the entire thing.
God, he ate it.
It wasn't like I just took a picture of the sandwich. No, I ate the entire burger.
I really did try to look. I really did I went to like my local one. That was probably a bad idea. I remember went to a Burger King with like a staff. Keith Lee was right. Stuff in Atlanta just sucks sometimes. But yeah, yeah, that's that on that. Tears of the Kingdom, on week 2. We'll see what happens. I didn't write any of this down. I should have. Oh well. We'll see what happens. We'll follow up next episode and see where it goes from there. God, I was supposed to be taking notes. I am so out of it. I haven't done any of my cleaning tonight. It's 2:00 in the morning. Oh well, who cares, right? Yeah, you don't care. It's whatever.
I do care, D. I deeply care.
Wink. But no, that's our list for Game of the Year. What else? What else are we gonna be talking about? Because this is gonna be when does the Game of the Year starts? Because we gotta come back and do like
the Game Awards is next week. Oh no, the week after next.
That's when my thing is done. December 8th. Hey, it's the same day. Same day. Look at that. That was an accident. That was a happy accident. December 8th is the same day that my whole thing is over. All right. FGO Awards. I'm a genius. See how smart I am, Anton? I did this myself. I'm proud of myself.
I don't want to burst your bubble. Don't
you burst nothing, Anton. What is it?
It's airing December 7th, 7:30 p.m.
That's essentially the 8th. It says on my thing, the Game Awards 2023 will take place on December 8th. The vaulted event usually takes place around this time of the year, with 2022 event being on December 9th. But I do see that they're going to be streaming live December 7th. I did see that. So Google, fix your stuff. But yeah, December 7th. That's the date. Oh, well. Anton burst my bubble, everybody. So send him hate mail. Let's do that. You can do that. It's fine. He can handle it. He's a tough guy. And
come at me.
Come at me, bro. But December 8th will be like the day that I get your results for the FTO Awards as well. I was super nervous about doing this, but it's working itself out pretty well so far. These cosplayers are all very excited. My DMs were blowing up. Was not expecting any of that. But I try to stop doing the whole try to see if I can make money from this thing. I go through this like every couple of years with FTO. And I'm just doing it for fun. And honestly, fun is fun. I think like going to these cons for free as a press official has really been giving me a jolt that I needed, and it's been a blast. So a lot of stories, a lot of epicness, spreading that FTO joy everywhere, and I've been having a good time. Like Anton got some of that joy at MomoCon. Got to sprinkle it right on top of him. He tells me it was like the best time ever. Sent me no pictures about what was going on there, but you know what? Next year, that's what next year's for. We'll see what happens then.
I mean, they were posted to the platform formerly known as Twitter. You didn't text me any Dragon Con or AWA pictures.
I didn't think you wanted any. I didn't think you wanted any pictures from Dragon Con. I don't want any.
You can't come at me.
Damn it. See, that was just what we did. We did it to each other. Next year, communication is paramount. My word of the year for this year has been monolith. I do words of the year every single year. This year was monolith, and I have tested that word to his mental this year. My next year word is understanding. Understanding. Now, understanding, because there's just emotions attached to that word. So we're going to see how that word works out for me next year. I may become docile as hell by the end of 2024. Like super just calm next year. We'll see what happens. For the whole year being nice to myself. That worked itself out pretty well. And I'm so used to the podcast by myself, I'm just rambling on. You gotta stop me, dude. You gotta tell me, hey, we're the podcast.
Well, remember, I'll help you wrap it up. Until next time, you can follow me around the internet, either Anton SIXXX or Anton the number 6, 2 X's. Take your pick. If one's not there, I'm probably the other one on whatever platform you're looking for me on. Or if I'm not, don't steal my username. Let me know. And
I'm really excited for someone to do that, especially someone who has an OnlyFans and just like, you know what? I like this Anton Sixxx guy. I'm starting making like OnlyFans stuff with like that very same name, Anton Sixxx. And like, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I don't know if I can watch it, but I'll blur pieces and like show the world. Like, this is what Anton Sixxx looks like before and after. I'm going to do that.
Yep. Somehow I'm going to. Never mind. We're not even.
Yeah. Oh no. He thought himself. I'm Dee of FTO Nerd Talk. There's a war show going on at FTO right now. FTO Awards. A lot of contestants going on in this. The two big ones that everyone seems to be talking about is Nerd of the Year and cosplayers. My wife and I said to ourselves, we should ante up some cash. So we're going to give $50 to Nerd of the Year and $25 to cosplayers. Like, make it make sense. We're going to talk to a lot of different people so they can donate more for these prizes. So, hey, you've been a part of this whole thing. It's going to be more than just you getting recognition and having a fun competition. There's a cash prize involved. Is it a lot of cash? Who cares? It's yours. Do what you want to. You can give it back to your community if you wanted to. It's yours to do with as you please. And that is the big takeaway from all of this. That there's a cash prize. I'm not giving it to TV shows, not giving it to movies, definitely not giving it to video games or songs. We're giving it to the cosplayers and Nerd of the Year only. But you got to follow us to do so. Well, you don't. You really don't. Like, you don't have to follow anything. Just make sure you vote. It's inside the link tree. I don't know how like a proper link for it. Like, just look for the FTO Nerd Talk link tree. It should be inside there. Vote there. And while you're there, check out the podcast. Because that's how you're listening to this right now, through a podcast. Because if you can't listen to this, and you haven't signed up for the podcast, you can't hear any of this stuff. So, yeah, I'm just going to stop myself from talking, talk myself into a paradox. So make sure you follow Dee and Anton whenever you get a chance. I will hopefully put our links inside of this podcast. I have not been doing that of late. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. This has been fun, Anton. The Game of the Year Awards, the nominees for Game of the Year. It's going to be a cool episode. For everyone to listen to.
All right. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
And you better take it easy. Hey guys, Dee here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.